Hey, what's up y'all? I'm back with another video. I'm no stranger to endurance farming. It's something that I just do every now and then. Things like 10-hour endurance farms, collecting over 1,000 of a single item, as well as running the same instance 100 times is something I'm no stranger to, and in this video, I'm going to be running the classic version of Scarlet Monastery 100 times. To be a little more specific, I plan on running each separate wing of the original Scarlet Monastery dungeon 25 times and showing and explaining some of the items and gold per hour rates that I collect, as well as the routes that I take and what other items that you can hope to expect while farming each of the different wings of the dungeon. I've actually covered the different wings of the dungeon in the past before, so if you're interested in watching that, I'll leave it in the description below, but I'll make sure to cover each of the loot tables as well as what to expect while farming again in this video, just in case. That being said, let's get right into the video. Now, before I get into the routes and results of running rampant through the rough and rowdy original Scarlet Monastery dungeons, I figured it would be important to mention that you have to attune, in quotations, to the original Scarlet Monastery dungeons. I wouldn't worry though, seeing as unlocking the original Scarlet Crusade dungeons is pretty easy since there are two pretty easy to follow methods. To unlock the original Scarlet Crusade dungeons, you're going to need to obtain the Scarlet Key, which can in turn be used to complete a quest near the entrance to the Scarlet Crusade dungeons in order to unlock the original versions of the instances. Obtaining the Scarlet Key is also pretty simple, seeing as there are two methods of acquiring it. The first method, the free method, is to have it drop from a loot-filled pumpkin during the Hallow's End World event. Since this video is being recorded and edited in December, you may have to wait a couple of weeks at the minimum in order to obtain it this way. Fortunately, however, there is another way to obtain the key, and that's off the auction house. The item itself typically lists between 10 and 15 gold, meaning that it may be out of the price range for my average viewer, but that's alright since I have plenty of other videos and guides on how you can make gold to afford the key. Now that you know how to unlock the original versions of the Scarlet Monastery dungeons, I can get into the routing and rewards from running Scarlet Monastery 100 times. The first original Scarlet Monastery wing that I decided to run is the same one that I led off with in my previous Scarlet Monastery video, being none other than the Graveyard wing. The pathing for the instance is extremely easy, taking little more than a couple minutes to run, meaning that you'll have no issues at all piling those runs on. One of the bright sides to running these ancient dungeons is that the mob density is high and that the dungeon length is low, meaning that your kills per hour rate is looking almost as good as your gold per hour rate. Running the Scarlet Monastery Graveyard Wing 25 times yielded me over 1,100 items for a total looted item value of around 140,000 gold, which is pretty unremarkable all things considered. Of the 1,100 items, only 23 of them were worth over 1,000 gold, with the only truly noteworthy items being 3 Scarlet Belt items, which list for around 3,000 gold at any given time on my realm. While my 25 runs of the instance were a bust, it's not to say that you aren't able to obtain high ticket items from this specific wing of the instance. In my previous video, where I talk about the reintroduced Scarlet Monastery dungeon, I mentioned a couple of items, notably the Watchman Pauldrons as well as the Bloodspiller and Butcher weapons, which all list for tens if not hundreds of thousands of gold at just about any given time between US and EU realms alike. I would still recommend farming this wing, seeing as building inventory diversity has quite literally zero drawbacks, but I'll let you make that decision. I can't tell you what to do after all, I'm just an assortment of pixels on your screen. The next original Scarlet Monastery wing that I decided to run is the Armory, keeping in track with the order of instances that I discussed in my previous original Scarlet Monastery video. Unlike the Graveyard wing of the instance, the Armory wing is extremely linear and easy to follow, not requiring any particular routing at all to clear in an extremely short amount of time. You'll have just about no issues hitting your instance cap while chain running Armory runs, meaning that stamina farming will be a breeze, giving you plenty of times to do other things such as write scripts for other gold slop farms, reconnecting with your family members, or going outside and feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. Farming the Scarlet Monastery Armory wing yielded me around 415,000 gold in looted item value from a total of around 2,100 items, which is a pretty impressive number, albeit quite low in the looted item value department. Most of that gold and looted item value that I was able to acquire from the instance actually comes from the Resplendent Guardian, one of the reintroduced items that I actually mentioned in my previous video covering the original re-added Scarlet Monastery dungeons. Much like the graveyard, there are still a handful of those sweet and delicious reintroduced items that I was unfortunately not able to acquire in just 25 runs, but who knows, maybe I'll get it on run 26. After all, you're literally only one run away from that hyper rare, high ticket item, bro. Just one more run and you'll get it, I promise. The next wing of the original Scarlet Monastery dungeon that I decided to chain run until my eyes hurt is the library, once again keeping in line with my previous original Scarlet Monastery dungeon video. Much like the Armory, the library follows an incredibly linear route, meaning that once again, you're going to have just about no issues hitting that sweet and delicious instance lockout cap. Running the original Scarlet Monastery library wing 25 times yielded me around an extremely impressive 1.1 million gold and looted item value from 1,900 items looted, with over 200 of them being worth 1,000 gold or more. Some of the more noteworthy items that I was able to acquire include the Sunblaze Coif, one of the reintroduced high-ticket items that I had mentioned in my previous video regarding the original Scarlet Monastery dungeons, as well as the Head Splitter, a one-handed axe that lists for anywhere between 20,000 and 30,000 gold at just about any given time on my realm, which, while not as impressive as the upwards of 400,000 gold that you're looking to make from selling the Sunblaze Coif, is still a pretty impressive medium value piece of gear to help pad your transmog bank inventory. It's also important to note that there is also a hyper rare item that drops from the Scarlet Monastery library wing, being the Sliver Blade, a dagger that lists for an average of 1.5 to 2.5 million gold at just about any given time on my realm and on US realms alike at just about any given time, which is an important figure to remember when you're 75 runs deep in Scarlet Monastery and you're beginning to reconsider the choices that you made that led you to this point in your life. The final wing of the original Scarlet Monastery dungeon that I decided to run also happens to conveniently be the only wing left that I could list off, being the Cathedral wing. The instance is similar in layout to the graveyard, with large open spaces that require some, while minimal, routing in order to optimize. However, you still shouldn't have any issues hitting your instance caps, seeing as the dungeon is quite small regardless of routing or not. In all honesty, the Cathedral wing was the part of the dungeon that I had the highest hopes for, seeing it has the highest number of mobs by far, while still remaining short. Running the original Scarlet Monastery Cathedral wing 25 times yielded me an extremely impressive 4.5 million gold in looted item value from a total of around 2,700 items, which is an insane figure. Some of the notable items that I was able to acquire include the Scarlet Chest Piece, a rare piece of transmog that lists for anywhere between 500,000 and 600,000 gold at any given time on my realm, a piece of transmog that I was able to acquire 2 of, might I add, as well as the extremely hyper rare Mark of Kern ring, a hyper rare quality ring that lists for an average of around 2 million gold on US and EU realms alike at any given time, which also conveniently made up most of that gold and looted item value previously mentioned. I talked a lot about the ring in both my ring farming video, as well as my reintroduced Scarlet Monastery farming video guide, so if you'd like to learn more about it and why the value's so high and may go even higher the longer I hold on to it, I would recommend checking out both of those videos out, since there's a ton of informative content on not just the ring, but also all 4 wings of the original Scarlet Monastery dungeons. Or don't, it's cool, I'm a chill guy, so it's not a big deal. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also feel free to leave a comment as to how awesome I am, seeing as I'm so cool and so swag and dope and also chill as hell. The original Scarlet Monastery dungeon has been a goldmine for both gold and content for me, so this may or may not be the last you see of the instance from me, but who knows? Anything for content, am I right?
Like I've been saying in all of my videos recently, my Discord server is officially open, the link of which you can find at the end of a short PowerPoint presentation down in the description below, so feel free to hop in and show off pictures of you killing Drakthir and Volpera, since I love seeing content like that. I'd also like to mention that my guild, The Guy, is currently recruiting for high-end PvE content as well as guild activities such as posting up in largely populated areas as well as general activities and remaining nonchalant during high-pressure situations. And if you'd like to join, feel free to join my Discord or shoot Bonesaw or I a message in-game so that we can deliberate on your acceptance. I'd also like to mention that I have officially joined social media for once, so feel free to follow me. Or don't. I don't care. I'm just a chill guy for real. Real chill. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, peace.